stuffed.
Yeah, I know, it was hot while it lasted. Sorry about that, my peeps was trying to do it, but it was hot while it lasted. But as you can see, internet connection, SUCKS.
That was a nice little video, though. Yay. Soda.
This is your boy Dean 316. This is your boy Dean 316. I hope y'all can see me. I haven't done a video in a couple days. Today I'll be moving my fish tank, and as you can see, it's over here. And what I want to do is I want to take the fish tank and I want to put the fish tank over there. The reason being is Christmas and the tree is up, and I got a lot of cleaning up and stuff and straightening up to do. So I'm just going to take and drag this fish tank over here to the side. And I guess while I do it at this point, I'll let the camera set up and keep an eye on exactly what I'm doing, I guess. As I drain the water and dump it and all that stuff, I've got a hose going outside. I've got one hose from the bucket, and I've got another hose going outside to my window. And you know, I'm sort of happy about that, because it helps with, you know, getting the water out and stuff like that. You know, I want to give a shout out to Tiny and his lady. Big Joe's World, I'd like to give a shout out to. And just any YouTuber that's out there just doing the right things on these holiday times, just trying to get everything together and do the things they gotta do. Yeah, we'll be over here any which way. We'll take a couple of, you know, here's some of my you know, pictures. That's me over there. I was a lot more sexier looking. Here's me and my wife, little Dino. Some of little Dino's pictures on the wall when he was a little Smurf. You know, that's just some of the stuff that's inside right now. So my water levels picking on up in my bucket. Now, most of the times you're in the fish tank, you really should not change all the water. But in this case, I'm not going to. I'm going to leave about maybe a bottle or 2 bottles. I should do a 25% change. I'm not going to do a 25% change. I'm just going to break it down and drag it from one side to the other, then fill it up. I'll take out most of the water. Some of the fish will be just at the bottom. You know, and the quicker I move it, the quicker it'll be, because I'm not taking most of those fish out today. I may take that big guy out because he won't be able to, you know, get through there and put him in there, but it all depends. So let's just see how it all works out. And I'll be dumping this water from over here into my sink. Back to my big normal water bottle size. You guys see it's a water bottle I use to fill it all up. Water out. And then you do have to use a little mouth pressure to get the pressure out from the water, so. nothing like the taste of dirty fish water. I don't know if you saw that, but I got a little bit in my mouth. That happens sometimes. Very nasty. So, you know, I'll take it on down. Let's wait for the water to lower. I'll probably take that big fish out as he's getting real angry about this. Yeah, he's getting very angry about this whole change. But it is what it is. I have to drag the tank on the other side. It'll make more room for what I have to do. There's the Christmas tree up there. That's a Kirby machine. I don't know if you guys may have seen in other videos and stuff like that. So, you know, that's what's going on this morning here. And I've got a couple Christmas things that I've got to put up. And this one I got to do a little gluing over there because that broke. And that's a little piece, but that's no big thing. You know how it is when you store stuff. Got the train tracks. Got the trains. So, you know, that's what I'll be doing, setting that stuff up so you guys can, you know, basically see what's going on. It's going to take a little bit of time on that. Most people already have their stuff set up, but I don't. So, you know, moving very, very slow this morning. It's been a slow week actually. And you know, I guess I'll just leave the camera on so you guys can actually see, and hopefully you can see me from this corner over here. I'll probably take that big fish and put him inside that pot. That's how much water I've gotten so far from that one pump around. I guess I just figured, you know, I've done it before. It's okay sometimes to drink all the water, you know. It's not going to hurt anything. The fish, they'll survive. Just got to have faith they will. But these fish, I've had them for years. They're so big right now that they can survive the change. This is one of my nets right here. This is one of my nets right here that I use to catch my fish as they come out. And we're gonna scoop the big guy up and move the big guy because he really does have to get out of here. And if you guys will see him, he's gonna give a fight, and he's gonna give one hell of a whistle. And he is powerful and strong. I've had him longer than my son was born. I don't know if you guys can see him here. He got caught in there with his friend, the Silver Dollar. And I've had both of them for a while now. They're pretty big fish. This big one right here is a big tinfoil barb. We've had him longer than Dean was born. And next to him is his friend. He's a silver dollar. And there's more silver dollars in there. But for the sake of this video and the lack of the water running, I've got to switch the hose now. I've got them exactly where I want them, so I can put the water hose over on this side. Okay, so I cut the thing off, so now I'm going to show you how to do this with the hose. Get to your mouth. Oh, not enough hose in the water. There we have the hose down the bottom. And now I'm going to begin to suck on the hose and bring the water out. Dirty, dirty job. Dirty, dirty job. You're not supposed to get in your mouth, but sometimes you do it. Very nasty. But they're my fish, so you know, that's the taste of being a fish owner. I do have a pump. I do have a pump, and sometimes I use it, but which I'm using it actually right now to go out the window. So it's one of those hand pumps where you just squeeze on this trigger, and it gives you the pumping motion. But because I'm on the bottom floor, I just stick it outside the window and let that work on it. You know, and they're in there right now. I'm not really so much worried about these other fish that are in there. I may grab the other big one because he may not be able to hang at the bottom when I do drag this around. So I'll snatch him out of there. And as you can see, he's very angry. He's like, hey, you're taking all my water. And he is literally going crazy. And I have him. He is in there along with some rocks. He probably just doesn't like that. But it is what it is when you're in the fishy kingdom. Yes, yes, yes. And now most of the times to set up a fish tank, basically what you need good rocks, and you need them to be washed. I'll usually get rocks from outside. I can get gravel and things like that, but I'll wash my rocks first in hot water, and just to bring up all the crap that's in them and everything, and see how cloudy they come and stuff like that. Then I'll take them through a cold water process and rinse them in cold water and let them sit in cold water. So that'll get the aggregates and everything ready for, you know, the transfer over, you know, to the fish tank. What kind of water you use? You don't use hot water, you use cold water. Most of the time people add what's called stress coat in their water. It helps the fish so that they don't stress out. There's other chemicals you can add in the water, but when you basically set up a fish tank and it's up and running, you really don't need the stress coat and all that other stuff after that, because the fish tank is already established. You know, once you add in the water and it gets into the rocks and everything else and whatever figures and statues you have, you're good to go. It will hold. Most fish stores, they'll tell you buy the stress coat, buy the enzymes and stuff that you need for the water. But once you add it, you do not need to add it again. So that's just something I wanted to let you know. And they say you should, but from a professional point of view, I've had my fish for over 10 years, and they're still alive. And you know, you don't always have to have chemicals to water, because when you're outside in nature, there is no chemicals. You know, they're not adding chemicals in the water. These fish are just thriving, they're just living. You know, you put them in their environment, they're gonna live. You know, and we don't want no weak fish any which way. So you know, the weak fish got to go. You know. I'm going to put the camera down for a minute while I get to this water thing and this water situation right here. And I have another bucket of water which is coming on level, it's flying on up here. And I think I'll be done with this just in a little bit. The water goes down. Give a couple more pumps to make sure that outside's working. It's not too cold. These fish are just hanging out. So the bucket, give it a dump. A lot of times, you know, you can you scrub your tank down. You can scrub your tank down with I believe I have it in my bag over here. Where is it? Yeah, this is a scraper. It's actually kind of like beat up because I've had it for a while, but I don't know if you can see it here. Usually most of the times what you do is you take the scraper and go up and down the glass. As you can see, you're going up and down the glass in a back and forward motion like this, and that'll take off all the you know, it'll just clean your glass, get your glass optimal clean for when you're about to put them fish back into the existing tank. Just scrub it up here, and you can see us bringing that stuff off the side. And yeah, and you know, scrubbing it down beside the glass. Take the opportunity to show you guys this while I'm doing this, and you easily push back and forth, up and down throughout the glass on the side if you have to. There you see, scraping with the glass, back and forth, and basically that's how you do it, you know. But it's mostly back a forward, up and down motion. You know, it'll be like a forward, up and down motion when you're doing it. You know, and that's some of the stuff that I usually do to take care of my tank and my aquatic fish, or Philly's Funny Family aquatic tanks, you know. But yeah. Once again, this is your boy Dean316 on the scene, and you know, there you have it. That's how you break it down. And then, you know, once you're done, you know, you'll basically fill her back up with water, and, you know, add in your existing fish. I'm going to leave the goldfish in there. And I'm going to leave the, I have a rainbow shark that's in there too. And as you guys can see, some smaller silver dollars are in there. Hopefully you guys can see it real good. And there's a rainbow shark. That's another kind of cichlid down there in that castle. I'm hoping you guys can get a good view of it and you can see it. And how the alligator eaters and everybody lives. And that's their rocks and everything. And in here there's a rainbow shark. He's in there somewhere, hiding out. There he goes. See him right there. He's that long one with the orange tail. You can see him real good. Fish are starting to get nervous because the water's going down low. But they'll be okay because I'll be dragging this over and it'll be a pretty quick drag. It looks like a heavy tank, but you can actually drag this on the floor and it'll slide across the rug. You should never move a fish tank when it has rocks and a lot of heavy stuff like that in it, because you can actually break the tank. I've been doing it for years. I have faith in my stand that my stand will be sturdy and it will hold. I won't try to move it with too much water, but I will move it with some kind of water in there. Another note too, these are your heaters here. So if you ever have a heater, always remember that you have a certain line to go up to, and the line is about maybe right around here on the end of the heater. And if you don't follow that line and you don't add enough water over that line, this heater will blow up. Once again, like I said, this heater will blow up if you don't have enough water covering up this heater. So, you know, for the sake of things, if you do have a tank, you disconnect the filter, the heater and everything like that. First fill it up before you plug it back in, because you don't want the heater to pop on you. And also you want your filter to go ahead and get the water that it's supposed to get. This is a smaller filter that I'm using. It's for a smaller tank, but it works just fine. Because of the size of the tank and the bigness of the fishes, you know, it works pretty good. Most people say, "Oh, that's too small," but you see it right here, and it's here, it's working. You know, you don't have to spend as much money as you think you do. You just have to be careful in the way you apply and the way you treat things. You know what I'm saying? So basically, you know, yeah, you don't have to go all expensive, like, oh, I gotta give me a $50 filter because I got me a 75-gallon tank. It's not so much. If you know, like, I had a good filter on here one time, and it was a wet dry filter, and as you can see, it used to hang on here, and the motor actually burnt out, and there's a long story with that, but I'll save that for another day. I think something happened with the kids, but I'll save that for another day. It's either here or there. So now I use this overhead, which it still worked pretty good. You know what I'm saying? I just missed the functionality of the force. There was a force that used to come through, you know, the this filter pump that I had. There was a force that used to come through. There was a nozzle, and it would spray the water out. And I will get back to that because I do like that system. So you know, yeah, and there you have it. And everything's pumping out slowly. You know, a couple more times. Make sure that's going out. I'm about to bring this line inside because it's just about done its job, but nothing wrong with letting it go outside and pump outside, you know. As bad as me having to go and do all that other stuff. So, you know, right now the fish tank is actually getting kind of light. It should be getting light. Move these guys out of the way. And it's not as light as everybody would think it is. But, once again, like I said, as you guys can see, it is very movable. It's very movable. So see there, I just actually turned it. It's very movable to slide, you know. It's just going to take me a little bit of work while I'm sliding it. I'm going to be pushing over into this existing corner over here. And, yeah, you know. So I'll let a little bit more water go out of it, and you know, I'll jump on that in a second. You guys can see him. I'm going to set the camera over here. My Christmas lights. I hope you guys can really see. Hi guys. You guys can really see me. What's going on? So I'll be dragging this fish tank over to this side over here, and I'm going to be putting this corner over here. And I'll try now, but I think it's going to be too heavy. But it's okay because you get a little bit. I'm pumping a little bit more water out of it. Oh, and for any of you who are not experienced, I repeat, do not try this. Make sure all your power plugs are disconnected before you go dragging anything around. Unplug my lights. And as you guys can see, I am actually moving the tank now. So that will show you guys that it is definitely easy to move a fish tank if you take your time and you do it the right way. Let's get these tacks off of here. Yesterday I was doing some work. I don't want those falling into my water. You know, iron and fish tank doesn't really mix, but it depends how much iron, because you know, iron and stuff like that will actually kill your aquatic fish. Too much iron and different kind of metals will actually kill your aquatic fish. Now I'm not too sure about iron that's in plastic and in statues. You know how sometimes you get these fake plants? Because I have used the fake plants before with the metal in it, and nothing's happened to my fish. But in saying that alone, I haven't used it for more than a year. You know, I haven't let the plant sit in there for more than a year. You know? So, now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to get ready over here, and I'm going to drag this tank over here so that you guys can see. So I'm going to disconnect the water feed now, because I'm pretty sure that I do have enough water. This on top of this bird cage for a minute. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this tank over, and as you guys can see, it's a very smoothly transition to move it over. It's just a matter of getting my hands inside the right way. And I'm hoping you guys can really see this video, and it's coming to you in a good way. I would definitely not recommend anyone doing this alone. It is very dangerous, and you could definitely get hurt. So always have somebody spot you. And yeah, it's very heavy. But as you can see, I can push it across the carpet. And it does take time, but wiggle it in. And now mind you, fish are used to current. So a lot of people are like, oh, they're getting headaches. No, fish are used to just moving through currents. So now that I have the tank in the spot where I want it, that's some of my rabbit stuff. And that's the back of how the tank looks. I'll push it on over the rest of the way so you guys can see. And now I'll make the turn. And here it is. I'm actually moving this tank. Excuse the way my kitchen looks right now. Now I'll pick the tank up a little bit because I did drag the rug some. Oh yeah. Definitely good to go. Definitely good to go. Yep. Now I'm going to leave a little small opening over there on the side in between the fish tank and my kitchen countertop, just in case I want to put my broom or whatever have you in there. I may move that down just a little bit more, because I'm thinking now I could actually slick the bird in between there, but I don't want to pack that up too much, crowd that up too much. And now that I have the fish tank where I want it, and that's how you move a 75-gallon fish tank from one side of the room to the other. I'll be putting this video online so everybody can see it. And once again, thank you for sharing your time with me this holiday season. And I'd just like to say I love YouTube and I love you guys. And rate, comment, subscribe. If you guys ever have any questions on aquatic fish, I do have silver dollars, African cichlids, rainbow sharks, tinfoil barbs, turtles. So you guys can just basically, you know, give a brother a shout out, a holler, and, you know, just ask any question you want to ask. And there you have it. There are some goldfish in there, but of course anybody that knows about them knows that they're food, F-O-O-D, for other fish. Some of them do live. These ones right here, they're living for a while because I had got a new stock of African cichlids in, about 4 of them. And as you guys saw in the other videos, one of them had babies, so I'll have some more of those to show later on as they get bigger and stuff like that. It was a great enjoyment and a pleasure hanging with you guys on this morning. And thanks.